Hello and welcome to another Let's Play. Me, Nemu6 of Echo. Before we start, if you're interested in playing this game, it's available for free on itch.io. Anyways, on the last Let's Play, we came back to the town of our childhood, that being Echo, so that we could A, work on our school project, and B, meet up with friends. Where, we came here and met up with everybody. And it seems like the main character, I think Chase, has a thing for Leo and vice versa. Because he still has an anchor with Chase's name on it. Be interesting to see how that dynamic plays out. And I guess this is like one of the few visual novels that actually seems to have a dedicated character. Well, like a dedicated romance roots. Just one. Though I guess there's also a Dastra. Well, not I guess, but you know what I mean. That makes going through this quite a bit easier. Unless, there's multiple choices or I don't know. Anyways, enough digressing. Let's continue. For the next 2 hours, we watch watch a movie on TV. Not really paying attention, mostly catching up with each other on how we'd been. It's good to be back, and it feels like it's all just picking up where we left off 3 years ago. It's really nice. Finally, it's about 10. At about 10, Leo, Carl, and Flynn head out. Leo! I spend the next 20 minutes tinkering with the equipment, making sure it's all in order for shooting the next day. Once TJ finishes getting ready for bed in the bathroom, I do as well before we get into bed, head to toe with TJ. Why would you do that? I don't think I've ever heard... Oh, whatever. There's a soft glow from the corner as Jenna sits at the table reading something. I lay in the bed, staring at the ceiling, waiting for her to go to sleep. There's a chain attached to my ankle as I walk away from the lake, my legs and feet caked in mud. I look back, seeing the chain snaking back around the rocks and reeds before disappearing into the water. Looking ahead again, I see Leo. He's smiling, waving at me. I walk towards him, and the chain stays slack, pulling easily out of the water. There's an anchor in the lake, I say. I stare at him, but he doesn't say anything and just keeps on smiling. I crouch on the rocks, wrapping the chain around my wrist a few times. Leo kneels next to me, rubbing my back, and sticking out his arm to compare our bracelets, saying that everyone gets one. He seems happy, but now I'm stuck here. I can't even stand up to walk. Metaphors? Sunday. Gravedigger at the Monster Truck Rally. Wow, this road looks worse than I remember it. Did I just not notice it, or did it change? I don't know. Also, the audio seemed good. I actually went back and looked into the smoke room, and I needed to put the audio up just a bit, Peyton is about a distance away. Bit of a distance away. To get there, we have to get on Route 93, which Flynn tells me isn't even called that anymore. That would make sense, considering how it was impossible to find on the GPS. I don't know, I feel like they do pretty well on GPS stuff. Anyway, to get to the city... Oops, sorry, I was going to scratch my eye. To merge from the remains of 93 onto I-40, which runs straight through the city of Peyton. About 15 minutes from Peyton, you pull over at a rest stop, which sits higher at a higher elevation than Echo. Yep, face fine. If you're looking in the right direction, it gives you a great view of the town. I stand outside the old rundown restroom, a paw over my eyes as I stare over the desert. A distant, hazy view of a group of small buildings huddled together signals where the town is. I wonder how big the town is. The town I lived in, West Texas, had maybe a population of 5,000. From the various, from its vicarious distance, vicarious? No, it looks small and harmless. Hard to imagine all the things that happen there. Alright, how do I use this thing? I look over and see Leo fumbling with the camera, obviously worried. Oh, I heard a train. That he was going to break it. I walk all over and show him how to use it. God, I miss that sound. And show him how to use it, checking the white's balance and exposure myself. I wasn't too good with cameras, but the equipment manager at the university had given me a quick lesson on how to do things. Alright, I want you to zoom out from Echo, slowly, and while you do that, I'm going to walk in the frame, okay? Yeah, okay. Leo hoists the camera up and looks through the viewfinder, ears perking up and smiling. Alright, signal me when you're ready. I adjust the clip-on mic while Leo focuses on with the camera, then raises a paw, signaling that I should start. I walk into frame, keeping one paw in my pocket and using the other to gesture. I hope I don't look too awkward. I always feel like I do. Is that supposed to be the town? Okay. The town I used to live in looked a bit bigger than that. But at least twice as big, maybe. Echo first began as a settlement in 1852 after James Hendricks discovered gold in a quartz deposit. Oh, I thought they were digging quartz, but also gold, I guess. The town grew quickly in size, and once it began to serve as a junction along the Prescott Railway, it reached a peak population of 6,500 in 1877. It was at this point in time that a particular phenomenon of mass hysteria took over. Many say the reason this occurred was due to the discovery of a body within the gold mine and the circumstances surrounding that discovery. Boy, that doesn't sound good for the Smoke Room. I think this game came out, like, Smoke Room's still in development, but yeah. That's spoiler alerty. On not much is known about the event. What is known is that once it ended, a large portion of the population left Echo. Most of those who left settled in the nearby town of Playton. However, the town still managed to prosper well enough into the 40s. That's when the government stepped in to shut down the mine, as it became federal law to divert all mining resources to the war effort. The town's population sharply declined shortly thereafter, and by the 1950s, it had dwindled to approximately 2,000 people. Okay, so wouldn't gold still be, important for the war effort? Not so much in, general resources, but, funding? Wouldn't the government get a decent cut from that? Maybe we were really dire on, iron and stuff. I shut down the Prescott Railway in the 1960s, followed by the bypassing of Route 93 by I-40 in 1986 was the final nail in the coffin for the town. By the 90s, the population had dwindled to just 150 people. Boy. Yeah, that is a tiny-ass town. Holy crap. I think most of the buildings would just be ramshackle. My goal, however, is to investigate the first event which led to the town's decline and its possible demise. What happened in the mine almost 150 years ago? That'd be like 1850. I've come to Echo to try and find out what information, if any, can be gleaned from the events of the past. I wait for a few seconds, then look at Leo. That good? Yeah. I don't know how to stop this, though. Here. I walk over there and take the heavy camera off Leo's paws. That was pretty good. You want to be a reporter? Maybe. I'd rather just write than be on camera, though. Yo, Chase. Lee and I look up towards the car, greeted by the sight of the bright white Ram's ass hanging out the back window of Leo's van. I don't really react. I mean, despite being self-conscious about his weight, Carl was pretty shameless about stuff like this. I'd probably seen his naked butt more often than I'd seen Leo's, and that was saying something. Is this being like, hey, they really did have a relationship, or is this how you see people's butts? Make sure you get a shot of him. Hey! At that moment, Flynn, who was sitting next to Carl in the back, reaches around and yanks the Ram's pants down so that they're hanging around his knees. Even though Carl's pretty quick to pull him back up, I still get a pretty good view of his equally big, white bulge dangling between his legs. Leo snorts, and I can see Flynn laughing his ass off while Carl punches him in the shoulder. Unfortunately for TJ, who was sitting in the middle row with Jenna, he was looking back at the time and probably got a much better view than I did. Now he's facing forward, covering his face, while Jenna sits next to him, reading a book and looking uninterested. Nearly 21, and he's still doing that, huh? Yeah, it's a little more awkward without you three around, though. We head back to the car, and I grab the camera bag from the passenger seat and put the camera away. Hey, did you see my ass? I saw more than that. Your thing is about the Horrors of Echo, right? It'll be a perfect fit. Well, if you could even fit it in the camera. I stashed the camera bag in the footwell before hopping in. What's a footwell? Southwest Adventures is an amusement park right in the middle of Playton. It's decent enough that people come not just from Playton, but from cities up to 100 miles away to vacation here. Because of this, it's usually crowded, and today is no exception. Families and their kids are everywhere. It's a generally nice day, sunny, in the 80s, and being on a Sunday added to the crowd. Sorry, I swear I can read. Though also, probably a great thing about this is that, it's a dry 80s, because like a East Texas 70s, not fun, because it's humid, and you get a little warm and you start sweating buckets, or I do. But like an 80s and a dry, that's perfectly fine. You drink water. Might be a little smelly at the end of the day, but that's what showers are for. I didn't mind though. The point of this was to hang out with my friends. I don't know about you guys, but I'm starving. Let's get some funnel cakes. That does sound good. Jesus, Carl, we just got here. Hey, I didn't have any breakfast. You had breakfast, alright. The blunt side of the munchies. A blunt? Oh, a blunt with the side of the munchies. It's no problem. You can do that while I plan out what we're doing. Carl ambles off, on his way to the funnel cake stand. I snagged one of the park maps from the entrance, and I hand it to Leo. Alright, so usually when my family comes here, we go clockwise and hit all the rides. That sounds like a plan. It's pretty crowded today, so we probably won't be able to do everything, but in this order, we'll at least be able to ride Event Horizon. You sure? The line is always so long for that ride. TJ's looking up towards the tall, spiraling electric red steel roller coaster. Can't say I've ever been. I may have been on some small ones, but I've never really been on a roller coaster. I'm an anxious person. They kind of make me nervous, It's definitely, well, actually, maybe I've been on some, definitely not the one you see in the background, but on some that, are mild-ish. It's definitely the most recognizable landmark in the park. You could see it from almost anywhere in Playton. Yep, fastest and tallest roller coaster in the West. I think it will be worth it. Oh. TJ rubs his arm with one paw, the corner of his muzzle twitching a little bit. I'd forgotten about that. Used to have a pretty pronounced motor tic, where the corner of his mouth would twitch up over and over again. Used to be a constant thing, but it stopped once we entered middle school. Guess it hadn't completely gone away. You alright, TJ? We could skip the big rides if you... Oh, hell, TJ. You're a fucking adult now. No, it's fine. I'm fine. I just haven't been on a roller coaster in a while. TJ snaps his head back towards us. He's all tensed up, and the movement looks like a rubber band being snapped. I'm riding all the rides with you guys. TJ walks off, his paws shoved deep in his pockets. I feel bad for him. I want to give him an out somehow, but that's when Carl comes back with his funnel cake. It's topped with ice cream, powdered sugar, and strawberries. Anyone want to share? Yeah, that looks really good. No, wait, no? Alright, I guess I have to eat the whole thing. Tsk. Great. Now I gotta wait for Fat Ass to finish eating. Carl pushes his face out of the cake, even with his white fur. I can see the powdered sugar clinging to his chin. So, that's another thing. Not always, but sometimes I ask a question and be like, please decline. But it's like, kind of dick move there, man. Kind of real dick move. Why even offer? Nah, I can eat in the line. We're going on Event Horizon first. The wait will be an hour long at least. The line ends up being 2 hours long by the time we get to the actual ride. I'm dying to get into a pool of any kind. To put it bluntly, an otter needs water. Part of the problem of living in Echo meant that we didn't have any kind of indoor pool system in our house, being as cheap as it was. We ended up having to get an outdoor swimming pool, which was a pain. Wait, indoor swimming pool. You usually don't hear too much about that. But, yeah, I mean, we have an outdoor swimming pool here. That's oil money for you, I guess. Nervous, Chase? I smirk at him. I've ridden it before, Leo. Same thing for you. Wink. Though, your tail is kinda down. Sure you're not nervous? Come on, Leo. Let's ride in front. Ooh. I don't know. I watch as Janet pulls Leo towards the line for the front, which is twice as long as all the others. I'm for the middle, and it just so happens that TJ comes with me. His tufted ears have been poking straight up the entire time, muzzle giving an occasional twitch. I lean over to him. You know, there's an exit over there for the people who, change their mind. I'll bet you could slip out without anyone knowing. Looks like it's not all of us are even going to be riding on the same train. TJ stares straight ahead, clutching onto the railing. I can see his sharp claws unsheathed, pressing into the middle, and chipping away at some of the red paint. No, I'm fine. You sure? Yep, perfectly fine. Ha ha ha. He. I'm great at laughing. Well, we're in the middle, which is the best place to be if you don't like roller coasters. Really? Uh-huh. Yeah. I really wanted to be able to get TJ to skip the ride, but it seems like he's pretty determined to do it for some reason. Finally, our train comes along, and I step in as two laughing and panting hyenas step out. Hyenas. Oh my god, that was the most intense. We hyenas talk like that. Holy shit, dude. I know. I never get scared on rides, and I almost fucking pissed myself. I do a quick check on the seat to make sure there isn't any actual piss before sitting down. Oh, but there is vomit. I look up to see TJ standing on the edge of the platform, his eyes wide, one foot stuck out to get on. TJ? A bored-looking teenager fox comes by to check my lap bar as I stick out my paw. Hey, wait, TJ, you getting on? The The fox goes from looking bored to mildly annoyed. If you're getting on, you need to get on now. We can't hold up the entire ride for you, sir. The exit's that way, where other adventures wait. People around us are starting to notice. Unfortunately, Flynn, who is lined up with Carl towards the back, is paying very close attention, grinning like he knew this was going to happen. Aw, TJ? Too scared? Guess you're a pussy after all. Shut up, Flynn. Hey, TJ. When it gets real bad, just say to yourself, at least I'm not going to die. Actually, a few people have. TJ. I yell at him, and that seems to jar TJ out of his trance. He almost falls into the car as he stumbles onto it, fumbling with the shoulder restraints before the fox attendant sighs and leans down to do it for him. I can see the red on the insides of TJ's ears as he blushes, and I feel my own ears burn a little from secondhand embarrassment. Now that it's too late, I realize that we shouldn't have started with this ride. We should have started with something smaller to build up his confidence. I jolted back and the train moves forward. Oh gosh. Jay's paw lashes out and catches onto my arm. Oh no, why am I doing this? Reach over to try and move his paw from my own arm back into the handle on his shoulder restraints. TJ, hold on to that. My arm. You're gonna... Chase, quiet. I pause, staring at the lynx. I'm really not used to hearing TJ yell. He almost puffed out to twice his size. Oh, because of his fur? I just need some quiet right now, and... Our train begins to ascend the first hill, and I can feel TJ's claws pricking through my fur into the skin. He starts mumbling quietly to himself, his eyes closed. TJ, are you praying? He doesn't say anything, and as soon as we reach the apex of the climb, I give up on trying to move his paw and sits back, a little nervous myself. I really, really hope TJ doesn't completely lose it. I rinsed the blood off my arm with the dirty theme park bathroom. It wasn't as bad as I thought it could have been, though TJ did start crying when we hit the first inversion. He had scratched the shit out of my forearm, grabbing it with both paws, once we started the descent. Unfortunately, Flynn and Carl were still on the platform when we rolled back onto the boarding station. Flynn looked ready to lay into CJ again, but when he saw the tears, he had the decency to hold back. I helped the shaking lynx out of the car, and somehow managed to stumble into the bathroom, where he quickly hid in a stall. I should have forced him out the exit. He always had anxiety problems, though I think we all believed that it was a childhood thing that had gone over. I don't know if he still takes medication. Hey, TJ? Yeah? We should probably get back. Leo texted me that they're all waiting by the ride. Yeah, I'll be out in a second. The cheerfulness voice is forced. I ignored the weird looks I'm getting from the other people in the bathroom, instead inspect my arm. The scratches are pretty superficial, so the bleeding has stopped. No one should notice it under the thick fur, even if it's tender as hell. I hear the stall door open behind me, and through the mirror, I see TJ coming out. He sees me looking over my arm, and his face crumples up again. Chase, I'm sorry. Is it bad? I really don't want him to start crying again. TJ cried a lot when he was a kid, almost every day, and even at 19, it seems he's still pretty susceptible. So wait, how are you in, what is it? In postgraduates, I think it was. But he's 19. He would be, what, in his first or second year of college? Though I guess it could be one of those things where it's such a small town that people's friend groups have quite large age range. It's fine. It doesn't even hurt. Well, that's good. We stand there awkwardly for a few seconds, then I air out my shirt, and which was starting to stick to my sweaty body. Ooh, ooh. Listen, it's honestly getting way too hot for me to wait in lines all day. I think I'd rather sit down and watch some shows or something. Oh, yeah? Yeah. You want to do that with me? TJ's ears come back up a little, and he clutches paws together. The fidgeting subsides a bit. Yeah, Chase, I think that'd be fun. I can tell he's at least a little relieved. We both head out, back towards the ride, and I spot the four of them waiting by the exit. I furrow my brow as I spot Carl, crouched on the ground, Jenna kneeling next to him and rubbing his back. Hey, everything alright? Jenna looks up, a sympathetic smile on her face. I guess it's the funnel cake in the rides. Carl's not feeling too good. You wanna sit on a bench or something? If I move, I'm gonna... That's what you get for stuffing your face right before the ride. You think they'll sell ginger pills here? Or ginger ale at least? A jolt would be nice. A joint. There are some vendors over there. I'll go check. What, ginger ale or joints? I don't think this is that progressive of a place. I'm actually kind of glad everyone's preoccupied with Carl right now. Take some of the heat off CJ. Let's move you to a bench. It'd be better if you're sitting down. Slowly, Jenna and Leo lift Carl up, and now I can see his face is really ill. To the average person, our little outing might already seem like a disaster, but this is perfectly typical for us. Nothing ever went according to plan. We set Carl down on the bench, and he bends over, his face in his hands as he moans softly, ooh ooh. Ugh. TJ comes back with a medium-sized cup in his paws, and sits next to Carl. No ginger ale, but they did have some lime soda. That does sound kind of good. Okay, maybe not lime soda, but like a lemonade. That sounds pretty good, actually. Carl takes it, and sips a bit of it before sitting back and belching. Ugh, fuck it. I'm done, guys. What? You're not gonna do what you're gonna do all day? Sit here? Actually, me and Chase are going to go see some shows. You can come with us. Ugh. Guys, we were doing this to hang out with each other, remember? Leave him. We're wasting time. Flint turns and walks off, his hands shoved into his pockets, hunched over like a gargoyle. He definitely looked the part, being a lizard. Damn, that was probably a bit speciesist. Well, we all have our phones. Text us, alright? Sure. Jin turns and follows Flynn, but Leo hesitates for a moment. He looks at me before eventually turning to follow Flynn and Jenna. 5 minutes later, Carl's stomach settles to the point where he's able to get up and walk. At this point, I'm completely wiped out and I just want to sit down. I point out the first stage we see, and they agree. I feel like this is going to get DMCA'd for sure. Well, not DMCA'd, but, lose copyright, which is fine. I do this for, fun. I sigh gratefully when I sit down. You look tired as shit. I crack an eye open, see Carl giving me a sidelong glance. I didn't sleep very well in the motel beds. I actually woke up around 2? You were gone. Now TJ's looking at me too, and I feel my gut clench for a second. Yeah, I tried to go for a walk down the street, and hoped it would help me get tired. Also, what is this thing we're listening to? I don't know, it just kind of sounds Renaissance Festival-y. Well, if that happens again, you can just walk over to my house. I'm up until, 3 every night. Dude, why are you up so late? Wow. Why? Carl shrugs, leaning back and sticking his hooves up against his chair in front of him, earning him a dirty glance from the occupier. Games mostly. Sometimes I read. Carl rubs his chin, opening his muzzle, closing it, then opening it again. You know, it would be pretty cool if you spent a night one of these days. That house can be creepy as hell when you're the only one in it. You're alone? Yeah, parents are vacating in the regal paradise, having a bloody good time, they tell me. Carl tries to put up an accent, but doesn't do a very good job at it. Oh, did you want to go with them? Carl's brow blows a raspberry, laughing. No really. Mom told me right away that weed isn't legal there either. So I took it as them not wanting me to come along. Oh. They did say that the chocolate there is real, whatever that means, and that they would be bringing me some. Guess I'm not enough of a fat ass yet. Come on, Carl. But dude, I'm getting there. Soon, all I have to do is stand in front of the mirror, block out my face, and jerk it in my moobs. Jerk it to my moobs. Okay, so I guess it's like, hey, I'm getting boobies. I make a dumb snorting, choking sound, and I can feel TJ looking at the two of us disappointed approvingly. Not the hardest thing to do when you're high. Wait, you've actually done it? So you've actually done it? Carl shrugs, smirking at me. I reach out and grab his chest. From I can tell, there's a pretty firm set of pecs under there. Carl puts on a monk horrified look on his face. Sexual assault! It touched my breast. Oh, whatever, Carl. You're harder than mine. Ooh woo. So now we're teenage girls in the locker room comparing racks? Hey, you're the one who brought up tits. You know what? I can see it. Yeah. You're the hot preppy one everyone likes. I'm the big fat chick you're all nice to, but call Big Thunder Mountain behind their back. And TJ? TJ hadn't been paying attention, distracted watching some dancers on stage. Looks instantly at us. Let me guess, the Christian one that is really secretly just huge into fetishes, or the one that's, how'd I put it? It's banging everybody. Let's see what he says. Huh? You're the cute, naive Christian chick that only takes it up the butt, so you can stay a virgin. Kinda close, right? What? Let me feel your boobies. I want to compare. What in the world are you No! Small but perky. There's a few seconds of tussling, and Carl getting smacked in the nose by TJ. Somebody shushes us from behind, and are forced into silence. The show starts off with a bunch of mice having a weird sort of hoedown. TJ really into it, and actually starts clapping along. I smile. TJ could definitely be kinda cute sometimes. Carl just rubs his nose and leans back, watching with a smirk, as if the whole thing is a joke to him. At this point, his eyelids are feeling very heavy. My eyelids were feeling very heavy. At most, I'd gotten maybe 4 hours of sleep last night. I think about leaning my head back, but the backs of the seats are pretty low, and I just end up with my head hanging over the back. Leaning backward would just be impossible. I could lean on one of my friends. I don't think they'd mind. Damn. Well, even though this isn't a seat change, this is a choice. And I think that's a good time to call it since we're at time. Right. I guess we just do this. So anyways, that's going to be the end of this Let's Play. So anyways, please comment, guys, like, comments, tell me what you like, dislike, tips, tricks. Otherwise, if you like me, YouTube, and like see grow, then please like, subscribe, and check out the rest of grow. Please remember to spay new your apples, help control the pet population. If you want to play this game, itch.io for free. And until next time, let's say me, Game 6 of Echo. See ya.